It's a tough watch. You're standing up in front of all your teammates, telling the story, an incredibly personal story about your brother. And did everyone in that room already know this story? Did they know just what you were carrying around with you?
All the lads would have known that my brother was sick. I suppose it wouldn't be a thing that you'd discuss at training or things like that. But I suppose that concept that Kevin kind of brings in, kind of when you tell a bit about it yourself, it's all about stuff that people don't know about you. So I was up that day, and I suppose I was 22-year-old, and it was mostly some of the older lads who were doing it, who had great stories about travelling and work and everything. So I'm standing up here preparing for it, maybe a couple of days before it. 22, right? I've been to school, I've been to college, I play football. Okay, everyone else has done that. I need something just to kind of. And then at the end of it, he always wants to kind of give your perspective on kind of why do you do all the training, why do you play for Roscommon, and I was hemming and hawing, to be honest, about whether I do it or not, because I want to get it right, kind of click with lads. I wasn't sure how it would kind of click with lads and just how it would come across, but obviously in the end I decided to do it, and obviously would have practiced it and kind of knowing myself, yeah, I'll say that, I won't say that, and just kind of started into it. And that was very early in the clip of the first episode, when I'm kind of choking up. And yeah, just in fairness, I think it did hit a chord with lads. There was a lot of lads kind of in the similar situation, kind of teary-eyed, and kind of it did hit hard with lads. And Kevin, I think, said it after that, that's real stuff, lads. That's kind of that's going to be great to draw on now in 2 weeks' time. Something like that to kind of look back on, and why do you do this when we're 2 points down, or that's why you do it. And it struck a chord, and I suppose it was energy for myself, and hopefully it kind of gave a bit of energy to the lads, that when we're in trouble at times, there's always kind of worse things, but we're kind of privileged to be in this position, and this is why we do it. So it was, like I said, it just happened. One of those things you don't plan at all, it just happened, and sometimes they're the best things that don't plan. It just happens, and it came off. It came off quite well anyway with the players, which was the main thing.
Is it a difficult balance for you to get right? The way you're talking and the emotion, and so yourself and Donny, your brother, are both in the squad, and Keane was part of a minor squad. Probably would have been part of this squad if he hadn't got the illness. That you're playing for him, but like the thought of that, like that's a huge pressure putting on yourself, going out into a Connacht final thinking, I need to do it for him. Yeah. It's almost overwhelming pressure. You can't live up to that. Are you well capable of getting that balance right?
Yeah, I feel myself. I'd feel myself that I feel, I suppose, comfortable with it. It's not something that I think about all the time, but you think about it, or you might see him and you're kind of like, right, I'm going training now, he can't, or something like that. And then I suppose realising in the week of the game, then you've your training done essentially the week of the game. You're not going to get any fitter or any stronger. So I suppose the days leading up to it is all yourself and kind of how you're preparing for the game. And I suppose, like I said, it's energy to you. It crosses your mind. It's emotional energy that you kind of store away. That when things mightn't be going as well, that you hope that you have something to kind of draw on. And it is a huge lift, no doubt about it. And for myself anyway, I see it as a big plus for me that I can use something like that. That's something kind of so close to me, but that I don't let it affect me in a negative way. That I don't get too bogged down on it. That if I lose, I'm letting someone else down. That it's just something that I have, I suppose, personal to myself, and something that is kind of, it's going to be there forever, and it's good to kind of draw back on it, and kind of he'll talk to me about it as well, and kind of say, what it means to him as well. So it's good to hear from him as well about it.
What did he say to you after the Connacht final?
He was very proud. I did the clip in season 3 actually, or the episode 3 shows us embracing. So that was a nice moment. So you never think you'd see your family after the engulf of people on the pitch, but I meant to met him anyway, and to see him was nice. That was a nice feeling, definitely. It was probably one person that you wanted to see.
How's Keane now?
He's good. Keane's keeping well. Yeah, and he's back now. He does a bit of coaching now at the moment, but obviously doesn't play sport. But no, he keeps involved with coaching. He be at all our club games and county games, and he's a big supporter, a big football fan actually in general.
You must have been very young when he was diagnosed.
Just 13. Yeah, so just quite young. Yeah.
It's a lot for a 13-year-old to
Yeah.
deal with. Your older brother.
Yeah, he was only 19 as well at the time,
Yeah.
so it was a strange one, and especially throat cancer. It's not really a thing you associate with a young 19-year-old healthy guy. It's more
Yeah.
kind of a 50 to 60-year-old who might have been smoking or something in their lives. But so it was a bit of a shock at the time. But it's only now you realise, like at 13, like you're living in I suppose a bubble that you'll be all right hopefully. But it's only kind of when you get to a bit older that you realise, like he could have, he mightn't be here today. Like, and it's just it happens so quick as well that you have no real time to think about it. But look, we're lucky to still have him around, and it's good. It's great to have him there.